Hi there, Nick Ivanov with Social Media Storytelling 3402. As I finish up my final project for this class, I've compiled new evidence and found new solutions in order to find proper compliance between the NCAA and its practitioners. I used Facebook as a vessel to go live with CU basketball head coach Tad Boyle in order to hear his thoughts on the issue. Along with that, I also shared the story across 4 different social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. I posted updates to Medium along with writing opinionated pieces, in total 4, on WordPress. I did short little 100-word segments just so you guys could feel my thoughts. I was able to show my findings, share my stance, and provide testimony from experts that were involved. Here's what I was able to find. We've seen it in the past couple of months. People are concerned with the number of violations that collegiate institutions are committing in their athletic programs. The numbers are growing rapidly, and unfair users are taking advantage of a system that doesn't penalize felonious behavior. After thorough investigation and research into the heaving pile of NCAA violations that has ridden collegiate athletics, I have come up with a perfect list for the situation. The first, teams have always been cheating. The second, harsher sanctions need to be placed on teams that commit violations. Third, these violations must be dealt with swiftly. Otherwise, we'll just be vacating another national championship like we saw happen to USC in the last decade. Finally, every violation needs to be held to the same standard as any other school. There cannot be any programs that are allowed to slip through the cracks just because they've made certain violations here or there. Every team has to be held to the same standard. Louisville, Arizona, and USC are just a few of the names that have had to face consequences for their malpractice. If institutions continue to utilize unfair practice, we could see a school potentially face the route that SMU did in the 1980s, where they received the death penalty and lost all scholarships, which utterly destroyed their football program. As seen in my interview with Colorado head basketball coach Tad Boyle, certain teams are not always going to play by the rules. It's on all of us as sports fans to make sure we don't turn a blind eye to this issue. The rules are the rules, and they need to be followed so that other programs trying to develop will have the opportunity to do so. However, the reality is this. In every occupation, whether it's sports, medicine, journalism, theater, or business, there will always be those who utilize malpractice to capitalize. This is just an inconvenient truth. But programs like the NCAA are created to serve a good purpose in the event that one of its affiliates uses malpractice. Those who enjoy the atmosphere of collegiate sports need to voice their concerns. The NCAA must hold these programs accountable, or we'll have another NFL degradation on our hands. And with that, I'll leave you my final words. There are always people cheating in every occupation, like I just mentioned. However, it's on us, as people participating, as people watching these sports, to make sure that we do not go into the propaganda. On the issue of a team like Arizona, who it was discovered that Sean Miller was on wiretap, quoted saying that he was paying DeAndre Ayton, one of their seniors going into the draft, $100,000, we don't know whether this story is actually true or not. So, it's important to be objective. We need to remember that in our penal system, people are innocent before proven guilty. So, that being said, we cannot use Arizona as an example. I'm using programs like USC in the past decade as an example because they were successful in prosecuting the school.